Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're tackling a total biological mystery, the dreaded mid-afternoon energy slump. You know exactly the feeling I'm talking about, right? It hits 3 p.m., your eyelids feel like they weigh 100 pounds, your focus is just gone, and you're rummaging through your desk or the pantry looking for literally anything to help you power through the rest of the day.
Okay, let's dive into this, because there's a really massive irony in our daily routines. Why do the very foods we eat specifically to give us energy end up making us completely exhausted? We grab a snack, maybe a coffee, trying to rev our engines, and then, an hour later, bam, we're totally drained. It honestly feels like a betrayal, doesn't it?
First off, I really want to validate what you're experiencing here. That infamous food coma? It is not a lack of willpower, and it definitely isn't a sign of laziness. It is a very real, highly documented biological response. In fact, science actually has a fancy name for it: postprandial somnolence, which is literally just the medical way of saying sleepiness after a meal.
And listen, if this happens to you on a regular basis, you are far from alone. Get a load of this number. Up to 25%, that is 1 in 4 Americans, experiences excessive daytime sleepiness. This is a widespread dietary trap, and it's heavily tied to the exact type of fuel we're choosing to put into our engines every single day.
So, what's actually going on inside us? Well, that brings us to Section 1, the blood sugar roller coaster, riding the glucose highs and lows.
Let's walk through how this builds. Think of what happens in your body after a heavy carb-loaded lunch as a wild amusement park ride, one you didn't even buy a ticket for. It's basically a rapid, 4-part biological chain reaction. Step 1, you eat a meal heavy in refined carbs. Step 2, all that simple sugar digests super fast and glucose just floods right into your bloodstream. Step 3, your body kind of panics. Your pancreas pumps out a massive spike of the hormone insulin to clear out that glucose. And then, step 4, the inevitable result, your blood sugar plummets. That severe drop is the exact crash you feel at 3 p.m.
And the biological fallout from that crash is intense. People who get these massive blood sugar dips actually end up consuming about 300 extra calories a day. Why? Well, when your blood sugar tanks that rapidly, your brain literally thinks it's starving. It hits the panic button, sending out these intense emergency signals that basically force you to eat more.
This whole mechanism is perfectly captured in a recent peer-reviewed study from the journal Nature Metabolism. They noted that it actually wasn't the initial spike that mattered, but how far blood sugar fell afterward. In short, swings from high to low are the problem. So it's not just the sugar itself, it's the severity of the drop that leaves you feeling shaky, irritable, and just totally fatigued. Now, let's shift gears from the stomach over to the central nervous system. Section 2, caffeine, adenosine, and brains. The lock, the key, and the block.
What's really fascinating here is how this lock and key metaphor plays out in your brain. You've got this chemical called adenosine. Think of it as the ultimate sleep inducer. As you stay awake during the day, it accumulates, binds to receptors in your brain, and basically slows things down to make you sleepy. But then, enter caffeine, the blocker. Because caffeine happens to be a similar shape to adenosine, it sneaks into your central nervous system and just jams those locks, keeping the adenosine from attaching. The crazy thing is you aren't actually creating any new energy. You're just temporarily masking your brain's exhaustion.
To show you just how powerful this switch is, there's this incredible study from the American Journal of Physiology, where they measured how long rats could run on a treadmill before reaching total fatigue. The control group, they ran for 76 minutes. The group given caffeine, where adenosine was effectively blocked, ran for a staggering 119 minutes. But here's the wild part. When they gave rats a drug that actually mimics adenosine, their endurance completely plummeted to just 24 minutes. Adenosine truly is the master switch for fatigue.
But here's the catch when it comes to the expectation versus the reality of caffeine. The immediate effect is exactly what you want, right? A quick spike in alertness. But the delayed effect? You build up a tolerance, requiring even more caffeine. Your overnight sleep quality drops. And worst of all, when that caffeine finally wears off, all that accumulated adenosine floods your receptors all at once. Boom. Massive energy crash. These short-term band-aids are literally fueling your long-term exhaustion.
All right, so we understand the biology. Let's pivot to the practical accomplices. Section 3, 7 energy-draining foods. The dietary culprits hiding in your diet that pull the trigger on these daily crashes.
Here's the rapid-fire lineup. First, processed grains, stuff like white bread, pasta, and rice. During processing, the fiber and nutrients get stripped away, leaving only fast-acting sugars. Then you've got sugary cereals and flavored yogurts, which cause rapid spikes.
We also have alcohol, which silently ruins your restorative sleep, and over-reliance on coffee and energy drinks. Next up are fried and fast foods. Those are loaded with heavy fats that severely slow down your digestion. And finally, extreme low-calorie foods, which quite simply starve your metabolism of the baseline calories it needs to even function.
But there's a surprising plot twist here. Even foods disguised as healthy can totally betray you. Beware the sneaky accomplices. You know that overripe, brown-spotted banana sitting on your desk? As it ripens, its starches convert into fast-acting sugars that act a lot more like candy in your bloodstream. And those excessively salty snacks, like pickles or chips, they literally draw water out of your cells. That causes dehydration, which remarkably mimics the exact physical sensation of deep fatigue.
And if you're thinking you can just power through that fatigue with an energy drink, consider this staggering number, 10. A single energy drink can contain up to 10 teaspoons of sugar. When you combine that massive sugar hit with high-dose caffeine, you're artificially spiking your system so severely that a devastating biological crash isn't just likely, it is mathematically guaranteed. All right, enough of the bad news. Let's look at how to actually fix this. Section 4, Fueling for Steady Energy. Smart Fueling Strategies.
And this brilliantly illustrates the solution, which is actually super simple. You do not have to cut out carbohydrates entirely, you just have to pair them correctly. If you're having toast or a bagel, pair it with avocado, eggs, or nut butter. Having rice or pasta, add in some lentils, chickpeas, or black beans. Or if you're sitting down to a high-carb meal, just eat your veggies or protein first. Adding healthy fats, protein, or fiber acts like a biological brake pedal. It slows down digestion and stops that blood sugar roller coaster before it even starts.
Building on that, here's a fantastic little toolkit of actionable, science-backed lifestyle hacks from Bonn University. First, cool your carbs. Letting things like pasta or potatoes cool before eating them creates resistant starch, which digests much slower. Also, try adding a splash of lemon juice or vinegar to your meal. The acid actually slows down carbohydrate breakdown. Like we said, eat your veggies and protein before the carbs on your plate. Take a simple 10-minute walk after eating to let your muscles soak up the excess glucose. And lastly, boost your magnesium with dark chocolate or leafy greens to improve your insulin sensitivity.
So, the crucial point is this. If you want one golden rule to live by to defeat the 3 p.m. crash entirely, here it is. Aim for 25 grams of protein paired with smart, unrefined carbohydrates at your meals. That's it. That simple combination is your ultimate shield against the postprandial slump. It provides the slow, sustained burn your body actually craves to keep your energy steady and your focus razor-sharp all day long. Which brings us to our final thought. The biology is clear, the culprits have been identified, and the strategic tools are now entirely in your hands. The only question left is, are you ready to step off the blood sugar roller coaster and take back control of your daily energy? Think about how you're going to apply this knowledge to your very next meal. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, here's to a highly productive, crash-free afternoon.